Hey, guys. How are you today?
How's it going, Coach?
It's going.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, man, uh, hats off to you, what you've done down there in East Jessamine. I know the last couple of years have been kind of tough on you. I've been having so much success in 4A and then your first couple of years in 5A. What's going to take to help get you all turned back around and back to the winning ways of East Jessamine there?
We did some soul searching, and there wasn't really any one thing to blame as far as where our program went and what happened. We had a conundrum of things. There was a bunch of things that went wrong. There was a stockpile of stuff that I could look back and say, well, if that gone different or this had happened or whatever. Actually, the first year we were in 5A, we beat everybody in the regular season by double digits. So that first year we came in with authority, and maybe that put us in a bad spot. I don't know. Maybe we were too high on the hog. I know I lost a lot of good seniors after that. But what my coaching staff and myself did is you got to take a long look in the mirror, and you can't keep blaming the kids. At some point, you just got to throw a grenade in there and blow the whole thing up and say, we're going to start all over again. And so the first thing we started with was leadership, and we're going to try to fix the locker room. And if we don't win any more games this year than we did last year, then I'm not going to say that's okay, because we're in it to win it. But our experience is going to be much more enjoyable. Our kids are buying in at a higher level. And I was just listening to Coach Marsh talk. You crack at some point, you crack that boulder. And I feel like that's going to happen to us. Whether it happens early, late, I don't know. I got a lot of young kids. Maybe it happens next year. But we went with a leadership council, and we have done nothing but preach leadership, accountability, hold the standard, do the right thing on and off the field. And I've got to feel like at some point that's really going to take over the X's and O's stuff and pay off and help us win some ball games.
Now, I was out there today. You guys had 7-on-7 going on with Estill County and Taste Creek. And first of all, Coach, like I said, rumor has it, there's been a lot of balls in the air out of East Jessamine, Coach. And after seeing Justin Heisel, I understand. But, Coach, is it true that you kind of been airing out a little bit?
Hold up, Coach, tell me these rumors ain't true. We ran the pound, Coach. We ran the pound down there. I don't want to believe it, Coach. Say it ain't so.
Part of the thing that had to go with the blowing up the whole program was the offense. And I love the wing tee. Don't get me wrong. If I had the personnel and really felt like it fit what we did, I'd run it, every day, all day. But when you got a special talent like Justin Heisel, we weren't going to be particularly big up front in some spots that you need to be if you're going to run the wing tee. I don't really have your typical high school wing tee running backs like a Tajee Jackson and Dylan Moore. I've had some guys in the past that were real big, strong kids that could really hammer it. And this year we're going to be a little shiftier. We've gone more to a zone concept. And when we did, we thought, well, you can't really dabble with a little of this, a little of that. And I've told him this, we're going to kind of just give Justin Heisel the keys to the offense, and he's got to make some plays for us. And he's getting better every day. He's bringing it. He's giving it all he's got. He's just a sophomore, so we've got some more time to even continue to get him better. But Justin's bought in. Our kids are buying in. And I think we're doing something right. If for nothing else, I'll say this. The most kids I've ever had come out for football at this time of the year was about 62. And I know that because we have 62 jerseys in the locker room. But right now on our roster, we've got 74 players. We had 26 freshmen come out. One of them was my son. So this is going to be a new experience for the first time in 22 years of being a head coach. I've got my own child on the field. I've never coached him in anything, so that's going to be interesting. But, yeah, we're going to throw the ball. When you got some guys like we've got that can go get it and do things, I think you'd be crazy not to go that route.
Now, how's that transition been, Coach? Especially for you, Coach. I know at some point you just kind of like, nah.
Well, we haven't played a game yet. I haven't had to call a play on 4th and 1 yet. And I was just telling my coaching staff the other day that we're definitely going to put some under center stuff in, because if it's 4th and 1 and I'm in shotgun, my wife's going to file for divorce. I'm just going to tell you that right now. At our house, we believe in getting physical and running the ball from my wife to my children. They know what Dad believes. But we're going to go with it. I think that you can run the spread, and of course we're throwing right now at 7-on-7 season, so to speak. But I think if you can get in the spread and give people some problems with motions, and at least the threat of the pass, then you'll get them out of the box, and you can still be able to run the ball really successfully. My main mentor that really taught me probably the most football was Mike Holcomb over at Madison Central. And he's been a spread guy forever. But, I looked at his stats last year at Madison Central, and even though they were a spread team, there'd be games they'd only complete a few passes and then run for 400 yards. And there they are in the state semifinals, and they about beat St. X to go to the state championship. So I know it can be done. I don't think we'll lose our identity as far as getting after you. I think that's a mindset that you teach in the weight room. You teach in the way you stretch. You teach it in practice. And if your kids will hit, you'll hit. And if you don't believe in that, it's going to show up. But that's what we believe in. We're going to get after people no matter what formation or, what kind of offense we're calling. We're going to be physical.
Now, Coach, man, you speak about your quarterback, how good he is. Who else are you leaning on this young team, still a fairly young team? Who else are you leaning on this young team to help get East Jessamine back to where we know it can be?
Well, from the backfield out, I'll start there. TK Braxton is track fast, and I say track fast, and that's what the colleges are looking for, is the guys that can actually throw the time out there that, it kind of turns your head, and TK is that guy. He's had that speed. He was a little bit undersized. He's put on some real nice muscled up this year. He kind of had the misfortune of sitting behind Tazi Jackson, who was obviously a superstar for us the last couple of years. And I've kind of had to pull TK along a little bit and say, I know it's easy to go over to wide receiver and maybe just roll in reps, but here's the thing. I'm going to make you the featured back. I want you to be the running back on first down, on second down, on third down, because I figure once he figures it all out and, gets comfortable with it, he's going to be a home run threat, kind of like we had with Dylan Moore. I haven't really had that guy give me that 80-yard touchdown. Taji did it as a junior and then got hurt, and then, some things happened, but this guy gives you the chance to go the distance anytime he can. Isaac Johnson was a punter and kicker only last year. Isaac is a soccer player that came out to kick. Came to me in the offseason. He said, Coach, I want to play. And I was like, well, that's good. I got a good kicker. And he said, no, I really want to play. Like, I want to play football. And I said, okay. And so we put him at wide receiver. We've thrown the last 2 Thursdays, and I would say hands down he's been our best receiver. He runs well. He goes and catches it. He is at practice every day. The poor kid runs conditioning with the soccer team for an hour from 8 to 9 and then practices football from 9 to 12. And the only reprieve I give him is I don't make him run conditioning with us because I've already watched him run his guts out. Jacob Reeder's a tight end for us that can really go get it. He's about 6'2", weighs about 220, runs good routes. Nathan Rice is a senior who's really, really come on and done some good things. And then probably the most dynamic player we're going to have with the football in his hand is Dante Parker Morton. He's just going to be a junior. He got hurt last year and battled an injury all season. But this kid left to right in space is unbelievable. He can do anything. If Justin had something happen to him, Dante would be our quarterback in a heartbeat. He's the type of guy you just snap him the ball and say, go do it. He's a phenomenal talent. So we feel like we got a good arsenal. And then when you start looking at it on paper, you're thinking, why wouldn't I spread this around and give everybody a chance to get the ball? Like I said, don't have a Taji that I can give the ball 30 times a game to. I think TK will get the lion's share of the carries, but he's not a kid I want to try to beat up every week. He's not that big and physical. So we're going to spread it around this year and see what happens.
All right, Coach. Now, you got in this tough district. We talked to Coach March about this tough district. What are your plans to compete in this district? Like, how can you get the East Jessamine up in this district?
Well, he made a good point, and I've believed it forever. You worry about your locker room. You worry about your locker room, and we're going to have a good game plan for all those teams. And I would be lying if I couldn't rattle off some things about those teams I already know. That just becomes a head coach. But I want our kids right now focusing on Dunbar High School in the first game of the season, and then we'll go to the next game and get better. And hopefully by the time district rolls around, we'll be good enough. And I made this comment a couple years ago, and it may have been to you guys, but when I first got in there, everybody told me, you got to beat West, you got to beat West, you got to beat West. And that's fool's gold, because what happens is win or lose, when you play that game, the season's over to the kids mentally. If you win it, coach, that's what you told us to do. So thanks. Where's my trophy? And if you lose it, they say, well, that was the only thing I was playing for anyway. So we don't talk about playing West. I don't talk about beating Woodford. We don't talk about those guys. We know they're good. I know Collins has got a Division I quarterback coming back. Madison Southern's got a new coaching staff, but I'm going to tell you right now, don't sleep on Madison Southern. They're going to be humongous, and I know they'll get after you. They're going to remind you of what we used to look like. West Jessamine might have one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the state of Kentucky. And then Woodford was in the semifinals and was right there looking at the state championship last year. So we don't have any cupcakes. I mean, there's nobody on our schedule right now that I'm like, oh, that's a win. Rock Castle's got Chris Larkey down there. His dad's a legendary coach. He's going to get things going. Lincoln County just hired Josh Jaggers. His dad's a legendary coach. He's going to get it going. Barstown was in the third round of the playoffs. Great Crossing is absolutely loaded. We just don't have anybody on our schedule. It's like, well, that's a win. It's going to be 10 dogfights, and we're going to give it everything we got. So all I'm going to tell our guys is get better every week. Be the best version of you. We're going to stay with the locker room, start right there, compete with ourselves, try to be the best version of ourselves every Friday, and that's all we can do.
All right. Coach Bill, you got anything else for Coach Bowling?
Man, Coach Bowling, I don't want you taking credit for the kicker being a good receiver now. Black you a GM now. Don't be like Coach Trump trying to ride with the winner now.
Hey, this kid's a natural. Receivers, you can teach them how to run good routes. And you obviously can work on a lot of things at wide receiver, but there's kids that can either catch it, they can't catch it. And then specifically with Isaac, he's fast. He's about 6'2", and he can run. And that makes a lot of problems for other teams. And he's almost in our 2 7-on-7s, kind of been just Justin's go-to guy right now. We kind of have to work on Justin, maybe not looking there every time, because the kid's really, it's been a phenomenal thing for a kid not to have played really a snap of football other than kicking the ball to come out and look this good. So we're really high on him. I'm going to have to really, because I said he's playing soccer too, so I'm going to have to really watch his legs and make sure he doesn't run himself out. But we're really excited about him, and a bunch of the other kids are looking really good too.
All right, Coach. Look like it's going to be big things out of the East Jessamine Jaguars. I'll be glad to put them paws back on them. They got to come to the cage. Keep doing big things, Coach. We appreciate you coming on with us, and look forward to a great season with you guys.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate seeing you this morning.
Yes, sir.
All right, Justin, man, you're coming off a 1-win season last year, man. What do we look for different out of the Jaguars?
I feel like we didn't really have a good leadership squad last year. I feel like we've got a few people together this year, and we're leading the team in the right direction.
All right. So now you guys were really young last year, man. What have you done to help improve leadership and take hold of this team?
Well, I would say we're still pretty young, but I feel like everybody kind of listens to the people that played varsity last year as a young player. So, yeah.
All right. Now, what are you doing? What have you been doing this summer to get ready for this season?
Oh, I've been in the weight room every day. After that, come out and throw. I get a bunch of teammates out here. We go throw, and then I've been to tons of camps, like too many to count almost.
Okay. And what's your goals for the season for the Jaguars?
Oh, I'm trying to make it big. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, good luck and keep doing big things.
Yes, sir.
So, man, coming into this season, what are your goals for this year?
Our goal is just to get this team moving in the right direction. We have a lot of young guys and a lot of good talent on this team, a lot of speed. Just get it moving in the right direction.
All right. Now, coming off of last season, what did you learn, or what can you take from last season to have a better season this year?
We had a lot of older players that could teach us in the right direction, leadership, just different things to work on, improve on.
All right. Now, in the past, this was a running offense. Looked like Coach is kind of opening up a little bit. How are you looking forward to next season?
Man, I'm a fast guy, so, it's not much of a difference for me. We're kind of shifting more towards a passing offense, and I'm starting to like it a little bit better.
All right, man.